Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Tigers Talk Rugby. Before we get started, for those listening on Facebook and YouTube, we are on other podcasting platforms, which include Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Spotify. So please give us a follow or a subscription on whatever of those platforms you use, or go check us out over there if you haven't already. With that, I'm your host, Ethan Richards.
I'm CJ Bakel, and I've got here today one of my roommates and Ethan's roommate, Oliver, as well as Dabo Sweeney. But
I'm Beckett Rice, and I got my roommate, Nick Sockner, who I know is gonna pull this out for me, right? Yeah, of course. He's got it.
Yeah, so a little bit of insight into this episode. Similar to what we did with CJ and Beckett's girlfriends, we have now taken roommates and we're going to put them through the test and get them to answer some questions on rugby in general, world rugby, just whatever rugby we came up with. A couple of the questions are the same because we wanted to see how consistent the information travels from our two roommates that have brought on their contestants. So I'm going to go ahead and call Oliver out right now. He lives with CJ, me, and our other roommate, Tyler Doolittle, who also plays rugby for Clemson. And we're all big rugby people. So I'm just putting it out there because I might flame Oliver really hard for messing up.
Nick, I gotcha.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
One other thing that we're adding to this, we're adding to this quiz versus the girlfriend's quiz is Beckett and I will be doing a punishment for the losing roommate. So if Oliver loses, I have to do a punishment. Nick loses, Beckett has to do a punishment, and the punishment will be chosen by you guys on Instagram.
Yes. So we're gonna throw up the photo from this episode. We'll put some comments in and like whichever comment you want to see happen as punishment. So with that, I think it's time to get started with our trivia questions. So we're gonna give you all each a few seconds with each question, and then we'll have you both hold up your answers, or you can just say them out loud. It's either works. So with that, the first question is.
If I start grabbing my head, that means it's wrong.
Okay. If I start scratching my face, that's the right answer.
So, what is the name of the New Zealand national team? A, the Kiwis. B, the Maori. C, the All Blacks. D, the Jackrabbits. And E, the Islanders.
Oliver had no hesitation with this one.
I know this one.
Y'all both ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Show me your answers.
We got C.
Okay, y'all
Oliver just wrote out the
correct.
All Blacks, so come on.
Yeah. Well, both are getting points. They both got it right. So
hey, we're off to a good start because I believe Kenna didn't get that answer right.
You are correct.
I'm very happy with you. Obviously,
you said New Zealand. I knew exactly where you were going.
Good, you're off to a great start. Good job, man.
I'm trying here, man. I just remember seeing that video on ESPN's Instagram about the All Blacks haka, and I was like, "That's our rugby team."
Yeah.
That is rugby. Yeah.
See, we've got the power of Dabo, so we're all right. We'll be all right.
We got the power of
Old Row.
Old Row versus Dabo.
So moving to the next question, we're going to bring it a little bit closer to home. What is the name of the U.S. national team? The Hawks, the Eagles, the Patriots, the Liberty, or Cowboys?
Go through the answers one more time.
Yes. The Hawks, the Eagles, the Patriots, Liberty, or Cowboys?
We're ready with our answer.
Yeah, we're ready.
All right.
Our answer's in.
It's funny because I can see the reactions on both Beckett and CJ's face, whether it's like joy, like or that moment of concern. It's great. So let me see your answers.
So Oliver's gone.
Liberty.
Both of you went
Both
with
of them,
Liberty.
what?
Wow. Okay. Unfortunately, I have to tell you both that you do not receive points for that one.
They're the Eagles.
There's too many
The
Eagles in
Eagles,
this
yes.
country.
Yeah, but what is the national bird? It's the Eagles.
When I think Eagles, I think sadness in the NFL. I think,
Yeah, it's
Oh my
Philadelphia.
gosh.
At least they've won. Hey, at least they've won a title recently, unlike the Cowboys. Not an Eagles fan, just saying.
So, well, that leaves a total at 1 point for each of you still. So we're moving on. Which country is known as the Springboks? Is it England, Argentina, South Africa, Italy, or Georgia?
Georgia, the country, not the state.
No, I thought Georgia is known like the little bit south of us is the Springboks.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, those guys right there, the Springboks.
Yeah.
Yeah, UGA Springboks, not UGA Bulldogs.
Yeah, so I'm gonna reread them real quick if you need it. England, Argentina, South Africa, Italy, or Georgia. It looks like Oliver's already got his answer. Is
Yeah,
that
he's got his answer in.
Mhm.
Whether or not it's a
We're good
good
here,
answer,
too.
we'll find out.
Y'all do as well? Awesome. So show me your answers.
Oliver wrote. Oh, they both got
Ah.
South Africa. Oh wow.
Yes. So South
Which
Africa
vaccine
is
is
the
it?
Springboks. You both
You
are
watched
correct.
Invictus with Morgan Freeman?
no.
Oh.
Still tied up, but now at 2 points each.
How'd you know that?
I honestly took a random guess. I was
Oh.
perfectly honest.
Yeah. How did you know?
Oh, I guess.
Wow. Those are some
Good
good
guesses.
guesses.
I went
Yeah,
for the alliteration. That's probably it.
potentially. I was thinking the Mandela movie,
Invictus?
Invictus. Yes, that's
With
what I was
Morgan
thinking
Freeman
might have
and
been.
Matt Damon.
Yes, exactly. So I was thinking y'all might have been able to get that from that one.
Yeah.
So
The only popular rugby movie.
true. So moving on, we're gonna move away from team names and we're gonna start working on some World Cup facts. So this is probably, I think this is the hardest question on here. When was the first World Cup? Was it in 2019, 1987, 1903, 1823, or the year 3000?
Little Jonas Brothers in there.
Absolutely.
Can you repeat those?
Yes, I can. So the when was the first World Cup? 2019, 1987, 1903, or 1823,
Or the year 3000.
or the year 3000.
It hasn't happened yet.
The rugby community is actually filled with a ton of time travelers, and they
Yeah.
started the
Yeah.
World Cup in 3000 and then came back. You know.
Yeah.
So it's just how the world works. You got answers?
Yeah, Oliver's got his answer in.
Awesome.
Our answer.
Awesome. So show me your answers. We have 2019 from Oliver and 1903 from Nick. Unfortunately, neither of you are correct. It actually is 1987 was the first Rugby World Cup.
Okay, I could see the logic behind Nick's choice, but what 2019?
Yeah. Oliver.
So you said this is the hardest question. I'm like, okay, it's the least logical answer.
Then the year 3000 would have been the least
Then
logical answer.
Year 3000 is the least logical.
Why
answer.
would it be? Okay, we've talked about how many times,
Here's
especially in
Nick's
this department, how many times like the All Blacks have won it, or like the Springboks have won the World Cup, and you're telling me it's only happened once and it was last year?
can name 12 winners right there. Some of them
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah. So speaking of some of them twice, who has won back-to-back World Cups? You've got England, Australia, New Zealand, or no one.
Oliver is now stumped. He had an answer written down, and then as soon as you said none, he was like, wait a minute.
Well, I think we're ready with our answer. Whenever you guys are.
God, the hesitation.
Okay, he's got his answer.
He's got an answer. All right, show me those answers.
Hey,
Both putting New Zealand.
Zealand.
Both correct.
Good job.
So an update on score. Both of our contestants have 3 points. So it is still a tied game.
That's not gonna lie, it's better than I thought we were gonna be doing. So you're doing great, man.
I'm trying.
Hey, I think at this point in time, these guys have more points than both Anna and Kenna combined. Not gonna lie.
I don't know. If
Oh,
I
think
recall
Anna was
correctly,
barnstorming it.
Anna was bulling out.
Oh,
Yeah.
true. And it was falling out.
Yeah. I
So,
think it got closer later on, but
Yeah. So we're gonna do one more championship question, but it's not gonna be World Cup based. And this is, who won the 2020 Pro 14? Which a little bit of details. It is a European tournament comprised of a good handful of teams. Ireland is has a handful of teams. And that's pretty much.
There's like Ireland,
Ireland,
Scotland,
Wales,
a couple teams from Italy, and then a couple teams from
Yes.
South Africa.
we don't talk about those two though.
Yeah.
That's bad. But the reason why I was specifically mentioning Ireland is because I'm giving you guys some hint.
They're not gonna know.
Yeah.
I know, but it's still a hint.
You can name
All
a
right.
place in Ireland.
So-
Other than Dublin.
Who
Belfast.
won
Okay.
the 2020 Pro 14? Was it Leinster, Munster, Ulster, or Glasgow?
Glasgow. Say it properly.
Glasgow. Excuse
Say
me.
properly.
Sorry.
So was it Munster, Leicester? No, Leinster, not Leicester. Leinster.
Leinster.
Munster, Ulster.
But you
Or
want I'll point
Glasgow.
to the map. Leinster's like the area around Dublin. Munster's like the southwestern part of Ireland. Ulster's like where
Northern Ireland, like Belfast,
and Glasgow is on
Scotland.
yes,
Yeah.
southern Scotland.
Well, from your hint, one choice has been eliminated.
See, the hint was valuable somewhat.
Yeah.
I mean, he was saying. You remember how he was saying like the Ireland and whatnot? But
Mhm.
All right, so it
we're
looks
ready.
like we got answers.
Yeah.
Let's show your answers. Both of you put Munster.
wow, you
Okay.
guys are on the same wavelength.
Yeah, really. This is
Both wrong.
impressive. Unfortunately, it's wrong.
You guys are both putting the same answers, but unfortunately, you're wrong.
Was it Munster in the final this year against
No,
Leinster?
no, they lost to Leinster in the semifinal. It was
Oh,
Ulster that was in the final.
Ulster was in the final.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ulster got
Yeah.
Como City State railed by them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's why I was hoping the geography would help. I was like, Leinster's around Dublin. They got the big population.
Yeah, but Munster's still pretty
I mean,
good.
just because it's around, I mean, that there could be an upset here or there,
Yeah.
That's a true sports fan
Good
logic right
mentality,
there.
good
There could
mentality
be an
right there.
upset. So we're gonna move away from that side of rugby, and we're gonna start talking about some of the rules and some of the laws specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, rules is probably the term you're used to, but in rugby, they're called the laws of the game.
Yes.
So we're gonna be discussing the laws of the game of rugby.
You should know.
So
Some of these,
of a 23-man roster, how many starters are there for each team? 11, 13, 15, all 23? Yes.
You have 23 men on a team. How many of them start?
Yeah.
Which
So out of
one are we
23,
talking here?
Oh, rugby union,
Oh,
not league. We don't
Rugby
talk about
union
league.
specifically, yes. So I'll go over those again. How many are starters? Is it 11, 13, 15, all 23, or yes?
Oh, he's got his
So,
answer in.
Alrighty,
He knew this
Yeah,
one.
So we're good to go.
pop them up.
There we got it.
15.
wow.
There you are.
Dang.
Both of you getting another point on the board, which brings it to a total tied score of 4 points each.
Not bad.
Man, this is close. This is
Yeah,
a lot
this is a
closer
lot
than the
closer.
previous one.
Yeah.
I saw when Nick was like, "Which kind of rugby?" and I was like, "Oh, union, not league." He was like, "Oh, okay." You were like,
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, does this guy know something?
Ooh, like,
Is he
that's-
playing us?
Did you? I was about to say, Beckett, did you bring in a ringer? Is that a secret ringer that you brought in here?
"Yeah, this is Nick. He plays professionally in Ireland."
Yeah, he's just putting on an accent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So reeling it back in a little bit. How many points is a conversion worth? Is it 1, 2, 3, or 100?
Yeah, the conversion is like an extra point,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Okay.
So it looks like y'all both got quick on that one. So
We're
pop
good,
up
yeah.
your answers. Both of you getting it correct with 2 points for that conversion. So now you
Wow.
both are tied at 5 points. This is coming in real close. I think those bonus rounds are really gonna show us a.
We might need to put
Score
up like
difference.
another bonus round question because if these guys end up tied after all this, we
Yeah.
have nothing to do.
Yeah,
We have
everybody
no
put in
contingency
the
plan.
exact same answer for every single thing, even the ones they got wrong. I think they put in the exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah, except other than the World Cup question, they put
Yeah.
in for everything.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So how many backs are there on a starting group of 15? Are
Mhm.
there 9? Are there 8, 7, 15, or none? Backs are all off and don't exist in rugby. I'll repeat them again. So how many backs are on a starting 15? Is it 9, 8, 7, 15, or none? Backs are always off and don't exist in rugby.
Mhm. Effectively, when you have a team, you have a group of forwards and a group of backs, and they comprise the team.
What are you talking? Backs don't exist.
Oh, my apologies.
Whoa, CJ, don't give away the answer like
Yeah.
that.
Well, we're
Okay,
ready with
it's
our
fine.
answers.
Like backs don't exist. I don't know what you're talking.
All right,
Something like
show us your answers. Ooh.
Yes, there we go. And we're taking the lead
So
now.
for those audio listeners, that was because we had our first split in answers in which Nick
Yeah,
got the answer correct with 7 and Oliver
Yes.
had it
It was a
incorrect with
guess.
8.
great guess.
It's okay. It's okay.
So we now have somebody taking the first official lead at 8 points to 7 from Nick. Let's see if he can extend that a little bit with
God.
the next question of what happens if you get a yellow card? Are you kicked out of the game? Do you sit out for 10 minutes? Do you get a stern talking to? Or does the ref call your mom?
Hmm. Mhm.
A lot of thinking going on for this one.
Yeah.
Do
there's
either
a
of you need
lot.
me to reread any of the answers? No, no.
Oliver, I don't think that needs it. He's already got an answer down.
Okay,
Our answer, so we're good to go.
awesome. So let's show those answers. Oh,
Let's go! Bring it back,
So-
baby!
After you start talking to.
a yellow card does give you a 10-minute timeout, basically.
And they call you.
Where you, yeah, and they call your mom. No, not actually, but so Oliver gets that question correct, bringing it back to a tied game at 6-all.
See, I think
So-
Oliver knew this one because he's seen me get a couple of these before.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That would
You got
that would
one
definitely
next time,
do
I'll
it.
just go with you.
So we have one extra multiple choice question, and this one is worth 2 points for the correct answer. When did rugby go professional? Was it in 2000, 1995, 1972, 1895, or 1923?
We are ready with our answer.
Oliver's still thinking.
I remember our conversation.
Yeah,
in the
we
car
did-
the
we
other
did
day,
talk
and
about this
I
the
was,
other
I was
day.
doing the numbers.
Wait a minute, didn't Beckett write this question too?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm seeing some insider information going around a little
So
bit.
I say, throw it out.
If you know what I mean.
You shouldn't have said that, Beckett. And you said before the podcast, hey, I'm gonna write in one more question. Don't show Oliver. Hey,
Savagery.
Because we had to put the star next to it to show which one was the right answer.
I mean, but you wrote it, and then apparently you guys talked about it the other day.
Yeah. Well, we talked at length
Referee,
about it.
we need some laws on
We had
this.
like a good 30-minute conversation about rugby.
You know, unfortunately, it slipped through the cracks, and I have to consider this as a valid question.
We didn't mention
So,
the backs. I don't
I'm
remember
gonna
ever
need to
talking
ask,
about backs or forwards. He told
what are your final answers?
see it.
Oh, once again, Nick takes the lead with getting the answer correct in 1995. Oliver
I think
answered
that is not fair.
1923.
All I want to say is that Beckett only told me that rugby's been professional for 25 years, and he didn't give me a day or anything. I was just like,
Yeah, but you can do math, right? Like simple math.
I just like to think I can.
Well,
Sometimes engineering tells me I can't.
We were talking about MLR because I was bringing up we should get tickets to the ATL game in March because it's only $9 for students. And I was like, he asked me how much the professional players in America make, and I was like, not a lot because it's only been professional 25 years.
That's an interesting little tidbit. That's kind of a side piece that you catched and kept in your brain.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. I think because it already slipped through the cracks and made its way to this point, we're gonna have to keep it. It's gonna have to stay validated. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a way to turn this around. As going into
remembering that. Good job.
non-multiple choice questions. There are 2 left. Each of these are divided into multiple point values. So I will go ahead and explain the first question. I'm going to need each of you. You're gonna have. I'm gonna give you roughly 30 seconds, and you're gonna have to name 3 rugby players, and it could be literally any 3 professional rugby players. Each player that you get is worth 2 points. So if they can be a professional player who no longer plays or is a current player, but as long as you name a professional rugby player, you will get credit for one of these players.
What if you name a future player? He just puts my name down.
Nope, that does not count.
Oh.
Dang it.
So, got about 30 seconds to answer this one. So go ahead and write down some names, whatever you got, and we can confirm or deny as we go through them. CJ's over there freaking out. As soon as you
asked the question, he was just like, I got this. I got this. He wrote down literally 3 names, just 3 names, and that was it. Well, are they right or wrong? I'm not going to tell you, but he just wrote down 3 names flat out, didn't care.
I have a feeling that a couple of these are names that CJ, Tyler, and I drop frequently, or at least I would hope so.
They're names that Tyler drops a lot frequently.
Okay. So we know that Oliver only listens to Tyler. Cool. Good to know.
We have 3 names too.
3 names as well. Awesome.
He says these are easy.
Well, let's start with Oliver since he came out confidently swinging for this one.
I got the Barrett brothers. I got Bowden Scott.
Bonus points for Barrett Brothers, boys.
Oh, wow. What a trio. He got all the
He got all three of them too.
Of course, Tyler talks about the Barrett boys.
So that brings Oliver, that gives you a solid jump to 12 points.
Mm.
And he spelled it Bowden correctly too.
Yeah, you
Amazing.
did. That was the most impressive
Oh
part
yeah,
for me.
Dean Barrett.
So bringing it over to Nick, what did you have?
Some British guy, John Beckworth, and I know the Clemson coach was a pro rugby player.
So I will give you a point for the Clemson rugby coach question,
Yeah.
because although you didn't name him, you are recognizing that he was a professional player, and I gotta give you some respect for that.
Some British guy.
But
That's
some
a,
British guy isn't gonna work, unfortunately.
that's a lot of players though. That's like
Some British guy. I don't know.
Some number.
I've heard of him.
So, you heard of him?
I've heard of him.
you heard,
So-
yeah, exactly. Some British guy. He comes up all the time in the GOAT conversations.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Don't
Or,
worry though. Although the score is now 12-9, with a 3-point difference, you have one last chance to take the game back, Nick. So each of you are going to have 30 seconds, once again, to list US or Canada cities that have teams that will participate in the MLR professional season next year. So you have 30 seconds, and that begins now.
Are we including that if they get an answer wrong, it's minus a point?
No, I wasn't gonna do that, but we can. Would you?
Nah, it's too
We're
late.
here to build people up.
It's too late. Yeah, we're here to build a
Too
wall.
late.
No, just as many as you can.
As many as you can in 30 seconds.
What is that?
Just in case.
Uh-huh.
I had like more than 3 answers.
Well, you can put down as many as you can.
Oh,
And that's the timer.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with Oliver, and we can see how many points Nick would need to break even here.
All right, so I got Atlanta, New York, LA, Dallas, Houston, and Sacramento.
Okay, every one of those except for Sacramento
Cool.
So
does have a team.
So are we taking away points or are we not doing that?
We are not doing that since we
We got
decided not to.
5 points, right?
Yeah, so that brings you a total of 17 points.
Point lead.
So, which would mean that Nick would need 8 points to
More and you just stopped writing though.
even the score.
I mean, I honestly thought we were only, I forgot the question was like for as many and not just 3. So
Yeah.
I kind of stopped a little bit, but I mean, I wrote down a few names.
Yeah.
Well, tell me what you got. What do you got?
I had Atlanta, San Diego, Seattle, Dallas, Los Angeles, and Austin.
That was close. You got yourself all the way up to 15 points.
Yeah. If he hadn't stopped there for a second, I think he would have had it. Because like name more teams.
Houston and New York.
Yeah, there you go. He stopped
Well,
for like
too
10
bad.
seconds.
CJ over here like, nope. That was the time limit.
It's like, I looked at him and I was like, is that all you know? He's like, no, I thought we can only write this many. I was like, no, keep going.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Oliver. He only wrote down like 3, and he was like, "Wait a minute, can we keep going?" And then it was like, "Oh
Yeah.
no, you have 30 seconds." Like, oh wait, what?
Yeah. No.
Alrighty, so that brings us at a total of 17 points for Oliver and 15 points for Nick. So that brings it to be Oliver as the winner, which as the unbiased host, I will show a little bit of bias here and say I'm relieved because Oliver lives with 3 rugby people who don't ever stop talking about it. So
Nick kept it close, so.
yeah, you did. You kept it very close. I'm very impressed with how you did today.
You did.
So a big insider scoop here. So Oliver, how'd you feel about today's win?
Too easy.
You heard it here, folks.
A 2-point victory is apparently too easy after being behind going into the free response question.
Yeah.
It was close. It
Yeah.
was good.
It was good. It was good.
I think it was
Well-
because Dabo Sweeney was here. You know, he had that winning mentality. You know, build up
course.
for us. You know, especially watching the game yesterday, we were all just amped up, ready.
There you go.
Well, before we close this out, I would like to thank both Oliver and Nick for joining us today. It was enjoyable.
I'll try.
Yeah, you did more than try. You did very well. I'm very impressed with how you both did. I think the only questions that really tripped y'all up were the ones that I genuinely thought were harder questions to put on here. So, once again, congratulations, Oliver, and to our listeners, thank you all for listening. If you want to hear more, go check us out on all those platforms that I mentioned before. And CJ?
Yeah, we also like to thank everybody who subscribes to the channel and donates to the channel. We really appreciate it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you guys can donate either $1, $5, or $10 a month. And all that money goes straight to us. And the link for that is in our Instagram and on Facebook and everything like that. So you guys should see it soon.
Yes.
So, but again, if you any for all those who have donated and are subscribers, thank you so much.
Absolutely. So, with that, this has been another episode of Tiger Stock Rugby.
Go watch some rugby.